In this exercise, we're going to teach you how to utilize your AutoSteel tool. The first thing you must do is open up your PractiCAD exercise template. Once you've done that, we're going to need to isolate the layers that have the steel lines. You can see here that we've got a steel grid. This is a flat 2D background, the template. And what we're going to do is isolate the steel lines. To do that, we're going to use our Layer Isolate tool. Now on my ribbon, it happens to be under my PCAD AutoCAD Custom. As a general default under AutoCAD Home, you should have these icons here, and one of them will be your Layer Isolate. So we're going to use it directly from the Home tab on the AutoCAD ribbon. We're going to say Layer Isolate, and we're going to click once. When you do that, AutoCAD is going to say to select objects on layers to be isolated, and we're just going to click once on this particular line item here, and then we're going to hit enter. And when we do that, AutoCAD is going to isolate just these lines. This is going to make it easy for us to sweep select all of them and convert it to layout lines. I'm going to go back to my PractiCAD AutoCAD where I have my PractiCAD ribbon, and we're going to choose the Create from Lines button. Going to click once. Then PractiCAD is going to ask you to select objects in the command line. I'm now going to window all of them. You can of course pick individual lines, but in this exercise we're going to highlight them all at once. And I'm going to hit enter. Once we've done that, we've got all the different lines converted, and you should see it turn to red. The next step will be to use our AutoSteel tool. Going to go over to the PractiCAD ribbon. We're going to select the AutoSteel tool, and we're going to click once. On the left hand side, you need to pick the wide flange shape you want to use. Make sure that you have all of the options open. If you actually click on steel here, double click on it, it'll close it and make it look like there are no options there. When you double click on it, it opens up all the steel catalogs that come with PractiCAD as a default. So we're going to open up wide flange shape and then pick one you'd like to use for this exercise. I'm going to use the W36 by 210. Now we need to set your parameters as follows. For normal, we usually always leave it as top. We're going to say rotation angle 0. We're going to say let's hold all the steel by the top. So we're going to switch hold by top. And then we're going to say start point elevation type, choose absolute. You have two choices here, but we want to just give it an absolute elevation. Remember that whenever you give values for steel conversions, you are giving the absolute from basically datum or zero elevation. From absolute 0. You might be using relative marks or a relative bottom on your drawing, but when you give values in AutoSteel, they must be complete absolute values from 0, and that means absolute 0. Put in 120 inches, or if you're working with Format Precision Architectural, you're going to see feet and inches here. It's all about what format and precision you're using, so you can type in 10 foot or 120. Then do the same for endpoint elevation. Make it match. By matching them, we're going to keep these lines flat and horizontal. However, you could put in an endpoint elevation and it would produce slope steel for you. Once you've chosen everything, it is up to you whether or not you'd like to remove the layout lines or not. Currently, I have them not to remove the layout lines. If we check remove layouts, it will convert the layout lines to steel and we'll no longer see those lines. Once we've chosen our options, press OK. Now PractiCAD should be saying to you to please select entities. And here we can either highlight all of them or just the ones that are supposed to be of this beam type. So right now I'm just going to highlight these 4 and then hit enter. And that should convert those 4 beams to that steel type. Then what we're going to do is come back into AutoSteel and then select a different steel type, any one that you'd like to use. And then we're going to press OK again. And then we're going to highlight these here and hit enter. Once we've got our steel on the drawing, all you need to do is use your layer unisolate. Once again, that would be under the AutoCAD Home tab in your ribbon, and over here you should have an unisolate option. If you click on it, it'll unisolate everything and bring your drawing back. Now you've converted your drawing to steel and you're ready to start doing collision detection with your fittings. That'll conclude the tutorial on using AutoSteel.